Taylor, looks like you got a little bit of water or something on you there. Can you just describe what the scene looked like in the locker room?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely in the crosshairs there. What a special night by Ja. I mean, back-to-back franchise records. The way he did it tonight, another highly efficient game, highlight plays, sound game. You saw how the team celebrated on the court after that, unbelievable Steven to Ja connection at halftime. More of the same, just a little bit more water now involved in the locker room. So got the game ball. Teammates were hooting and hollering for him. Smiles everywhere. Obviously, a big win for the team, and obviously, 12 had a huge imprint on this game tonight.
You talk about how Ja had a huge imprint on the game. As a coach, you see him every day at practice. I know we've asked this over and over again. At this point, it's hard to be shocked what Ja has done. But when you look at a game like this, are you speechless? Do you have any words? And what did you see specifically from his play that allowed him to get going like that?
I mean, just phenomenal force. Obviously, set a tone. I think he had like 14 points in the first quarter. Set a tone with the pace that he was playing with, pushing the ball in transition. Obviously, getting downhill, finishing ability. They were back in pick and rolls. They were up in pick and rolls. They were switching pick and rolls, and he was just kind of slicing and dicing out there. But then also, I thought he did a really good job defensively. We as a team kind of struggled at times against number one pace team in the league, but trying to get to the next play. I thought Ja did a really good job. I mean, Murray, all-star, has had a phenomenal year. I thought he did a really good job, on him in a lot of different situations, especially the early pick and rolls. But he just came out and just played with great force and aggressiveness on both ends. And obviously, the offensive side from start to finish was super high level.
Just follow up on that, coach. Every time you made a run, they would match a run, and you defensively, you just outwore them out. What's the difference in the game defensively at the end that pushed you over the hump to get a separation from them?
I think, looking at the second half in particular, I mean, kind of similar to the other night where we just couldn't get a bucket to fall. And, every shot that they were taking, was falling, and thought we could have been a little bit more physical in certain situations. But, they were taking some tough twos and, some finishes there. But, we didn't panic. We didn't feel like, hey, we got to drastically change our coverages and, go, completely rogue out there. We said, just keep staying the course. We got enough stops when we needed to. Then the shots started falling. We ended up winning the third quarter, and then talked about going to the fourth quarter. Just got to find ways to just win this quarter by, one. Guys came out, did a great job. We did mix up our coverages there, end of the third, start of the fourth, and we did a much better job compared to our adjustments in the first half. So it was about just playing better and not panicking out there. And, we face that when teams go on runs, and we call a timeout, just regroup, and they did a really good job tonight.
Taylor, when Ja has those type of moments, I mean, what's it like for you as a coach? Because I'm watching you a lot of times, and like when he scores 50 and everyone around you is just going wild, and it looks like you're telling him to get back on defense. And, like, what's it like for you? Because I know probably inside you're feeling like everyone else, but you're trying to be composed as a coach. So how do you just manage that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm definitely cheering inside big time. I mean, the plays that he's making, obviously the highlight plays, but big time shots, big time finishes. I'm applauding big time inside, but just trying to keep our guys get into the next play, focus on the next decision we've got to make as a staff, and definitely we'll celebrate after the game, behind closed doors with the group, but just kind of stay in the course. But I'm definitely hooting and hollering inside when I see him play at this level.
Taylor, is it safe to assume if the Grizzlies were a football team, Steven Adams would be your quarterback?
I mean, definitely when we have a Hail Mary play, he'd be out there. But I think Ja might be hard to supplant there from the quarterback position. But, to be able to run those special plays where you got two guys that can play and, a reverse and, a deep pass or something to a tight end or wide receiver, I think Steven could step in nicely there.
Ask you specifically about his passing. Was that something he had good assist numbers in previous seasons, but never this high. Was that something when you made the trade, you said right off the bat, you're like, we're going to utilize this more than maybe it's been utilized in the past?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's something that, when he and I first sat down face to face, getting to know each other, and then we started talking basketball, that was one of the things I immediately talked about, his vet presence, his leadership, the physicality he plays with, the IQ, but then, hey, we can untap this a little bit more with you. The obviously in the half court with the guys cutting off of him and the dimes that he drops, but now you see obviously, the full court, dimes that he throws, the quick outlets. I think a lot of it is him just understanding how fast we want to play. Now he's opened that part of his game even more. So definitely just gives us a different dimension, having, playmaking bigs, and when he can set a tone, it's beautiful to watch.
Taylor, if you had to pick between the dunk and the play at the end of the half, which one do you think was more ridiculous?
Oh boy. more ridiculous. God, that's a toss up. So I'm going to say both equal in their own right. But the dunk's pretty special.
And then you heard the MVP chants there at
Mhm.
the end, 46 points and then 52 points back-to-back games. Is that something that an award you think he deserves?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's absolutely in that conversation and absolutely deserving of being an MVP. I mean, there's a lot of great players playing at an extremely high level, and I always come back to when you've got a team playing winning basketball, you've got an individual player on that team as well playing significant winning basketball. We've got a lot of guys playing winning basketball, but the level he's playing at, and how it all impacts our winning at the end of the day, that's the true definition of MVP. So I'm not the decision maker, but it's pretty obvious to me that he's the MVP. Great. Thanks, everyone.